Welcome to the biology classes again. Today we will be continuing with the same nervous system. This will be the fourth episode of nervous system. In the earlier two or three stages, we have completed that nervous system is composed of mainly two parts, that is central nervous system and peripheral nervous system, of which the central nervous system consists of brain and spinal cord. While the peripheral nervous systems are the nerves which arises from the brain and spinal cord. The nerves which arises from the brain are called cranial nerves. And which arises from the spinal cord are called spinal nerves. Cranial nerves are 12 pairs and these are all having 31 pairs, out of which we have completed the brain. How many parts there are there and everything we have completed. Now we will start with spinal cord a little bit and then we will go directly to peripheral nervous system. Now the brain we have completed like this, that this is the cerebral hemisphere and these ventricles and others, and there is cerebellum. This is pons and this is medulla oblongata. Clear? Now during our skeletal system we learned that we are having a skull is having on the back side known as occipital bone. Here the bone is known as occipital bone. During our skeletal system we learned how many bones are there. The last part is our brain. The last part is known as occipital bone. It is on the back side. In the occipital bone, there is a opening like this. This opening is known as, we have discussed, this is known as foramen magnum. This is the opening of the occipital bone, through which the brain comes out as spinal cord. So the spinal cord starts from here and it ends somewhere in the L1 vertebra, lumbar 1 vertebra, which will come. Now this foramen magnum, from this foramen magnum the spinal cord starts. The spinal cord starting point is foramen magnum. And it ends in the lower border of L1 vertebra. So this is the length of this. In male, the length is 45 centimeter, whereas in female it is 43 centimeter long. So it starts from the after the medulla oblongata, you can say, or it starts from the opening of the occipital bone, that is foramen magnum, and it extends through the vertebral column. and it is 45 centimeter in length. Like brain, in the brain what we have seen, in the outside there is cell bodies. Cell bodies appears grey. So the outside appears grey and inside appears white. That is, cell bodies are on the outside. Cell bodies of what? Of neuron. Cell bodies of neuron are there on the just under the skull. There is dura mater, pia mater, and others. Thereafter the cell bodies and the fibers may be axons, dendron, whatever it is, the nerve fibers are inside. But here it is reverse is true. Here the outside of the spinal cord appears white, while the inside of the spinal cord appears grey. This is the basic difference of the spinal cord and brain. But these two are the parts of central nervous system. May it be spinal cord, may it be brain. These are the central nervous system. Peripheral, which comes from the periphery. Now this we will learn this spinal cord. Spinal cord, it is cylindrical in shape. It is cylindrical in shape. So it is like a cylinder. It is like a cylinder. But these portion and these portion have grooves. This portion is known as like this. If it comes down, this portion is known as ventral side. So it is having a ventral fissure. And the upper back side is known as dorsal fissure. So it is tapered anterior-posteriorly or flattened. It is cylindrical, almost cylindrical, and flattened anterior-posteriorly. So it is flattened on this side. Since these two have groove or sulcus, this is called ventral sulcus, this is called dorsal sulcus, that is on the back side. These, what it does, the grey matter tapered here gets tapped, and grey matter is like this. Is like this. So the grey matters resembles like H of the English alphabet. These are the grey matter, and outside it is white matter. Because there are two groups on the anterior and posterior side, or dorsal or ventral side of the spinal cord. Now, for this tapering, it appears like H, is it? So this is the tapering, and the grey matter produces some horns. This is a horn, this is a horn, this is a horn, this is a horn, and there is another horn here, and there is another horn here. So what we will say, these two are on the ventral side, so this will call ventral horn. And this we will call dorsal horn. of the gray matter, and these two are, these and these two are lateral horns. So the tapering or the grooves or the fissure, dorsal fissure and ventral fissures gets tapped anterior posteriorly, which tapers the gray matter like an H of the English alphabet, producing three horns. Now if you cut here, it will make two symmetrical halves. It will make two symmetrical halves on right side and left side, and this gray matter will project here. Clear? The gray matter produces three horn, dorsal horn, ventral horn, and these lateral horns. Now the problem lies with the, it starts from the, this starts from the medulla oblongata. Clear? And inside, what we have said, there are two lateral ventricles, one third ventricle, one fourth ventricle, and the fourth ventricle continues as a tube inside the spinal cord. What is the name of that tube? Inside the spinal cord. This tube, this is tube, through which the CSF passes. This tube is known as central canal. Clear? Now, whenever it passes through the vertebra. So there is vertebra here. Vertebra has these processes, ventral processes, and like this. This is a vertebra. So these vertebra has some hole inside through which the spinal cord comes out. Suppose this is vertebra, and from this, within this vertebra, there is some canal through which the spinal cord flows or goes through, and the spinal cord remains loosely arranged. Remains loosely, it is not tight. So what is the name of this canal of the vertebral column? This canal of the vertebral column, this canal of the vertebral column through which the spinal cord passes, this canal is known as, this is central canal and this is neural canal. The neural canal. Look, sometimes you may misrepresent this. You can write this neural canal, this is central canal. No. The central canal is the continuation of the fourth ventricle through which this passes, CSF passes, and the canal of the vertebra and the foramen of the vertebra through which the spinal cord remains suspended loosely is called the neural canal. So there is a difference between neural canal and central canal. Now, so this is occipital bone, spinal artery. We will go to this, that is the cranial nerves. There are 12 pairs of cranial nerves which comes out from the brain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there are 12 pairs of cranial nerves. Let me write it down. Let me write it down. Where is this one? So cranial nerves starts from cranium or the brain. Cranial nerves are these are the 12 pairs of cranial nerves which arises from the cranium. Number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. What are the name? Olfactory, optic, oculomotor, trochlear, trigeminal, abducens, facial, auditory, glossopharyngeal, vagus, spinal accessory and hypoglossal. Very difficult to remember. The shortcut process, I am giving a shortcut process. These three are known as O cube. Double T is known as T square. A and A, these two are A, and in between there is F. So you write A square minus F. And then GVSH, write simply GVSH. The formula is O cube, olfactory, optic, oculomotor. T square means trochlear, trigeminal, and A square minus F. In between 2A there is F. Abducens, facial, auditory. In between there is facial. And then GVSH. G is glossopharyngeal, I am coming, vagus, spinal accessory and hypoglossal. So you can remember in this way. Suppose there may be a mistake, sometimes question comes, what is the name of the sixth cranial nerve? What is the name of, sometimes comes, eighth cranial nerve? This may come. Otherwise, vagus sometimes comes, it is very easy for the normal student. But whenever you are writing, abducens come first and then auditory comes. How you will remember? In dictionary, you will see that A, B comes first and then auditory AU comes. This is also known as acoustic. So, abducens AB will come first and AU auditory or acoustic, AC, you can say acoustic. Some in books it is written acoustic. So this comes first, this comes later. In between facial nerve. So O cube, T square, A square minus F, GVSH. Now, olfactory relates to nose. Olfaction. It is highly developed in dogs. So the smell sense comes from the nose through the olfactory nerve. optic, eye, oculomotor, eye muscle, trochlear, trigeminal, these are all eye muscle. You will consult your book, you will get everything. Abducens, facial, these are all face, and glossopharyngeal, the difference is glosso means glossitis, glosso means tongue, so taste, and pharyngeal, the pharynx, glossopharyngeal. Vagus nerves, it goes in the visceral, stomach, intestine and others, vagus. Spinal accessory, it is accessory of the spinal nerve, it goes to the spinal area, that is in the neck area. Hypoglossal, hypo means below, glossal means tongue. Below the tongue, hypoglossal is the shortest. It is below the tongue, it is the shortest. Sometimes there may be a heart attack or there may be uncontrolled heart. So we used to keep sorbitrate tablet. Tablet sorbitrate we used to keep in our pocket. Maybe for me or maybe for others also, it may comes to a help, life-saving. If you put this sorbitrate hypoglossal, that is below the tongue, if you put a sorbitrate, then it will immediately control the heart and then the patient can be rushed to hospital and his life can be saved. So hypoglossal is the shortest from here, it directly goes to brain. It is the shortest nerve. So these are the cranial nerves. Sometimes they may ask you that what are the types of nerves? What are the types of nerves? These two are sensory. These two are motor nerves, right? These two also motor. The way I am writing, you write in this way. Sensory, motor, these two are motor. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. This you write sensory. This you write mixed. This is a mixed nerve. This is also a mixed nerve. This is also a sensory nerve. Sensory 9 and 10 are the mixed nerves. These two are also mixed nerves. This doesn't come usually in the exam. Just simply for your information, you can write this way. So these are the 12 pairs of cranial nerves. It goes from the cranium. So this is cranium. From the cranium, these 12 pairs of cranial nerves, which forms a part of peripheral nervous system, which brings the impulses from the periphery and acts accordingly. These are the 12 pairs of cranial nerves arises from the cranium or the brain. Now we will come to spinal nerve. Spinal nerve are 31 pairs. Spinal nerves are 31 pairs. This is also very simple. If you remember this, there are 8 pairs of cervical nerves. There are 12 pairs of thoracic nerve, lumbar, sacral, coccygeal. So these are 31 pairs. That is cervical, in between the cervical vertebra. Suppose this is cervical vertebra number 1, cervical 2, cervical 3, cervical 4, cervical 5, 6, 7, 8. 12 pair of thoracics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12 pair of thoracic nerves, cervical, then thoracics. Then lumbar sacral 5, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then again 1. So let me write it a little bit away because there is a question sometimes comes. Cervical 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thoracic 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pair. Then lumbar 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then sacral 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then coccygeal 1. That is 10. It is coccygeal. So this is the length of the vertebral column which is longer as compared to spinal cord. The spinal cord extends up to lumbar 1 vertebra, up to this. The spinal cord comes. And it has, the spinal cord also has this cervical, 12 cervical pairs of nerves and 12 pair of thoracic nerves and thereafter the nerves which comes from here goes out. It comes from here, 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 goes out. And it comes from here, goes out. Now, these nerves, which I will call these nerves, cervical nerve, it corresponds with the cervical vertebra. That is first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. So 8, it resembles within the same vertebra. Within the same vertebra, there are pairs of nerves. From here it comes, and on this side it also comes. So these resembles or correspond with the vertebra. These also correspond with the vertebra. Thoracic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 thoracic nerves comes out almost in accordance with the spinal cord and vertebral column. But thereafter, from the lumbar, it comes downwards and goes out. It comes downwards and goes out, forming a tail-like structure. This area is known as conus medullaris or horse tail. Conus medullaris or horse tail. Sometimes in Viva question may be asked, why these roots are longer than the roots of the cervical and thoracic vertebra? Because you will simply write the development of the spinal cord do not corresponds with the development of the vertebral column. In fact, the vertebral column is much longer than the spinal cord. It is 45 centimeter in male and it is 43 centimeter in case of female. So it ends here. But in the earlier stage, in the fetal stage, these almost correspond with other, but it develops faster. This is a rapid growth of this area, and this area completes its growth here itself. So the later nerves, that is from lumbar 1 or lumbar 2, the nerve roots are have a longer roots as compared to the cervical and thoracic vertebral roots or thoracic vertebral nerves. Clear? Now, this will go a little bit deep on these spinal nerves. Very simple, not that much difficult, and after which we will come to a close. The spinal nerves are 31 pairs. So the spinal nerves like this is cylindrical in shape, having tapering here, having tapering here. It has one dorsal root. This is dorsal root and this is ventral root. On the ventral side there is ventral root. So these two root, this is the dorsal root of the spinal nerve, and this is the ventral root. So it arises from the ventral region, it ends in the the dorsal region. The dorsal roots, these are sensory in nature, that is, it brings information input, and the dorsal root has a ganglion here. This is known as dorsal ganglion. Dorsal ganglion or the cell body here. The cell body of this sensory neuron is outside the spinal cord. Clear? Now this ventral root, it has its cell body. Here you see, here we have H and ventral horn, lateral horn and dorsal horn. These are horns. So it has its cell body in the grey matter. In the grey matter, it has its cell body of the neuron. The cell body of the neuron of the ventral root lies inside the grey matter, while the cell body of the dorsal root remains in the dorsal ganglion. Now the problem comes something different. Whenever it comes, so whenever it has got two roots, suppose this is a spinal cord. So we have made two roots here. It is dorsal root and this is ventral root. So it remains, if you tear it, it cannot comes out. So it has got two roots. So two roots, the joins. The irony is that the two root joins, before it comes from the vertebral column, this is vertebra. This is vertebra. So whenever it comes out from the vertebra, it emerges as a single nerve. This single nerve is 8 pair, 12 pair, 5, 1 pairs. This comes out of the vertebra. Whenever it comes out of the vertebra like this, This is, suppose this is vertebra. This is also a vertebra. Where from the nerve comes out? It comes out here. This area is known as intervertebral foramina. So, in between the two vertebra, the nerve comes out as a single nerve. It comes out as a single nerve, but here the spinal cord is here. The spinal cord has one root here, one root here, one root here, one root here. So the two roots unites to form a single nerve. And there are some other things, that is ventral root and dorsal root, and the spinal nerve, whenever it comes out as a single root, it divides into three branches. It divides into three branches. Okay, I am writing, drawing a very other pictures like this. It comes out as a single. Single root. After coming out from the vertebral column, this is vertebra. Intervertebral foramina. Intervertebral foramina. After coming out, it comes out as a single root. Then it divides into three branches. This is dorsal root. This is a root. This is a root. These three roots are known as, the dorsal root is known as ramus dorsalis. Dorsalis. This is ramus, R-A-M-U-S, or R-A-M-U-S, ramus, sorry. Ramus dorsalis. This root is known as ramus dorsalis. This root is known as ramus ventralis and communicans. This is ramus communicans. It is the longest, and this is known as ramus dorsalis ventralis. So, after coming out the vertebral foramina, it arises as a single nerve, and then it immediately branches, three branches, divides into three branches known as ramus dorsalis. That is, it takes care of the impulses and others on the dorsal side, on the back side. This is on the ventral side, ramus ventralis, and ramus communicans. It goes directly to, ramus communicans connecting with the ANS. This is ramus communicans, this is ventralis. This is ventralis, this is ramus communicans. It ends here in autonomic ganglion. It ends in, ramus communicans ends in autonomic ganglion, which I will come on the next day. There, how many ganglions are there on the spinal cord? It is spinal nerve, and spinal nerves, it goes out like this, 30 pair. And the ventral root, there is autonomic ganglion. There is autonomic ganglion. These are all autonomic ganglion. So in the autonomic ganglion it joins. This is actually autonomous nervous system, which will come on the other day. So central nervous system, brain we have completed, spinal cord we have completed, and cranial nerves we have completed. O cube T square, O cube T square, A square minus AF, then GVSH. And now 31 pairs. These are the 31 pairs, and it has got two roots, dorsal root and ventral root. Dorsal are sensory, these are motor. Sensory, it has got cell body outside the spinal cord called the dorsal ganglion, and here the ganglion or the cell body or the cyton or the neuron remains inside the gray matter, and it joins and comes out from the intervertebral foramina. After coming out from the intervertebral foramina of the spinal cord, it divides into ramus dorsalis, ramus ventralis, and ramus communicans. This is the shortest root. This is the shortest, and this is longest. This take care of the dorsal side, this care of the ventral side, all the inner muscles and glands and everything, and it is concerned with the autonomic nervous system. Clear? There ends the today episode. Will come with the last episode on the next day, and then that will take about 5 to 10 minutes and will complete the whole nervous system. Then we will go to skeletal system, and thereafter the muscular system. Thank you. Till then, take rest, and please do share and subscribe. Thank you very much.